We're doing a year in review of pop culture moments that really defined 2023. There's no definitive ranking, but maybe we can attempt it. And number one on every list is Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
All of the Barbie and Oppenheimer memes kind of took over the timeline over the summer. I thought it got tired after not that long. But I mean, I guess it was just how they had to market the movie when the strike was still going on.
They fell into it. They fell into it. It was perfect. I mean, it's actually completely plausible that wouldn't have become as popular as it had been if the strike hadn't happened. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Woo!
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I do have to say, I did Barbenheimer, but I did it in that order. We went and we saw Barbie, and then we got a boozy brunch, and then we went and we saw Oppenheimer. Wrong order.
I would have definitely done Oppenheimer.
Terrible. That's what I wanted to do.
Drink and watch Oppenheimer rather than drink and watch Barbie?
Well, to be honest, I think drinking did make Oppenheimer easier to get through.
I loved Oppenheimer.
I thought it was good, but it was a dark film.
Yes.
With a lot going on, too.
Who would have thought that the movie about the development of the atomic bomb would have been
kinda
a dark movie?
Yeah.
It's dark subject matter, guys. Who would have thought
But I don't really like movies often that have a dark subject matter.
I do think the memes that came out of it, like, I thought we were building a rice cooker, Truman. Well, in a way. I was like, damn, man.
Yeah, even it offended the whole country of Japan.
Yeah.
They were like, how would you feel if we made 9/11
We're
memes?
like based.
I feel
Like, that would be hilarious.
Exactly. Like, I think they just don't get American humor.
No.
Like,
Seriously,
Yeah.
there was a meme. Apparently, there was a movie that was on. It was either on Hulu or Amazon Prime, and it said Osama bin Laden: The Road to 9/11. It looks like a sports team going to the
Oh,
Are we
no.
gonna get an Osama bin Laden biopic?
Like no, so like if we got like the Osama bin like Osama, and that was the movie, like I'd go see it.
Did you guys-
It's gonna be like a supercut of him being like, I want to change the world.
Did you guys catch the, like, very... It was swift. It went away quickly, but there was a trend of people on TikTok being like, Osama bin Laden was not the bad guy, and I was like, okay, we need to get the Zoomers under control because I was around for this.
We
They
got
have
wind
no
of
context.
that.
I grew up during this. Osama bin Laden was not just a guy who criticized the U.S. government's foreign policy. Like, there were considerably more problems with him.
He was
There's
not
the-
a-
He was a Wahhabist.
activist.
He wanted to kill all Christians, Jews, pagans, atheists, everything.
Wow.
Right there on the screen. Bin Laden: The Road to 9/11.
Oh my God.
Like I'm just picturing
Why?
Michael Jordan like The Road to 5.
And he's played.
Yes.
He is played by Ryan Gosling.
Yes. Or
Perfect.
Ryan Reynolds. Have Ryan Reynolds play.
No, if Ryan Reynolds did it, it would actually be funny.
We need to race swap Osama bin Laden.
All right, what we need to do is I need to use the fact that I'm from Philly to become friends with Rob McElhenney, however you pronounce his last name. That's probably a good place to start, is learning that. And then through him, I need to meet Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And then I need to find a way to convince Ryan Reynolds to play Osama bin Laden. But I think we have the pieces.
Well, I mean, we already got Andy.
The pieces are all here.
Andy Samberg already did. What was it called? The one where he's the dictator.
Are you sure you're not talking about Sacha Baron
Or
Cohen?
Sacha Baron Cohen. But what was
Yeah.
the one that Andy Samberg did? With that they did. Okay, no, yeah. So
Mark
yeah.
Zuckerberg?
Sacha Baron. What was it?
Was it
Huh?
Mark Zuckerberg?
What?
No. I'm thinking something else. So yeah,
what?
Sacha Baron Cohen already
Yeah.
did the dictator. We could do that again.
Germany did. A German filmmaker did make Er ist wieder da, the Look Who's Back, which is about Hitler coming back to like 2015 and then becoming like
Like a satire?
him becoming a superstar. It was supposed to be a satire on like, you know, how Hitler's tactics would still work in the modern world. You know, because people don't really change that much collectively. It was every single neo-Nazi at Penn State loved this film. They thought it was like for them.
There were that many.
Yeah, there were like 12. I unfortunately knew them.
And all 12 of them.
Yeah, I unfortunately knew them. I did not like these people, but I did unfortunately have to spend time around them.
So what do you think the second biggest story was? Taylor Swift, I guess, Eras Tour.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce did take up the most of my timeline if we're looking at like just pure impact.
Yeah.
Like, who was I forced to talk about and think about the most?
I am enraged.
Yeah.
That was. What's your general take on the Travis Kelce romance?
Why do I have to care? Like, why? Listen.
care.
I watch football. To get away.
Yeah.
I watch football so that for 3 hours I can feel sheer anxiety because Brian Johnson is the worst offensive coordinator to ever stand on a football field. I do not watch it so that I can constantly have to look at Taylor Swift and hear about Taylor Swift and what Taylor Swift's doing. Is Taylor Swift at the game tonight? Do you think Travis and Taylor are happy? Is Taylor Swift going to bring him on tour when the season's over? Like, I don't care. Stop making me think about it. I don't want to think about it. I grew up in southeastern Pennsylvania. Taylor Swift grew up less than an hour from me. Like, I've been hearing about Taylor Swift my entire life. Please, for the love of God, let it end.
Yeah, the fair point. I think that's what everyone is saying. We did unfortunately have to pay a lot of attention to Taylor Swift this year.
Well, she's the first ethical billionaire. She's the first ethical billionaire.
Unless you're asking a climate activist,
Yes.
they say
of
she's
course.
a climate terrorist. But otherwise, her fans are convinced she's the only ethical billionaire. Or they were debating about it. They weren't quite sure, but yeah, they let it slide. She's allowed to be a billionaire. Everyone else who's a billionaire is evil.
It's because she's slaying.
So yeah, just in terms of like impact and how much attention we had to pay to her, that would be a number two on the list.
Andy Samberg had "Finest Girl," the Bin Laden song from the movie Pop Star from 2012. That's what I was thinking of.
Ocean Gate is also on this list.
Does Ocean Gate count? I guess it's pop culture, right?
I think it counts as pop culture because it just kind of
The Titanic movie
pop culture.
is pop culture, so
Yeah.
it's related to Titanic.
You know, I gotta say, they naming it Titan. That was you were challenging God on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we should watch the Ocean Gate song.
Yeah. Do you have it?
I've got it. I'll send it to myself, and then we can watch it here.
I do think the silliest part about that whole controversy, though, was that they were like clowning them for using a video game controller to pilot the thing, but like that actually makes a lot of sense given the size of the sub and how big the control system would have to be. You can do all of it with 2 hands on a controller.
Yeah,
I can pilot a sub or a plane in a video game. Obviously, it's more complicated in real life, but the military uses Xbox controllers for certain things. Like, it's not that ridiculous. I do think it's a little ridiculous that the U.S. Navy knew the sub had imploded the day it happened and decided that instead of telling everybody, they would simply spend millions of dollars looking for people who were already known to be dead and giving the families false hope.
Here's the here's the song, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put this on screen. If you guys haven't heard this, I think we might have played this before. Yes.
That is incredible.
That was
I want that
beautiful.
played at my funeral.
The internet is a beautiful place if you know where to look.
Yeah.
I hope
So
that
also,
was a comfort to all of the grieving
Yeah,
families.
there's also the terrors, though.
No, but my problem with the story was, look, like, I have no problem with dark humor in the face of tragedy. I have a problem with actually hating somebody because they were rich, just because they
Yeah.
had money.
like celebrating
Yes.
the idea that they suffered for a long time before they died as well. They were like hoping that they were waiting for the oxygen to run out.
Holy crap, we missed, did we miss some?
You missed quite a few super chats. I wasn't sure if you had seen it yet.
Okay, hold on, guys.
How far behind
I'm
are
going
we?
back on.
There was a lot of super chat money
Oh no,
that
we're
just
at
came
10.
through.
We're at 10.
Yeah.
No.
Tree brand for 300 euro. Is that a euro?
Yeah,
Right
that's
there
a
it
euro.
says it's pronounced tree beard. There you go, tree beard, but spelt like brie the cheese. I'm making up for all the streams I didn't donate to this year. Merry Christmas, lads and ladies. P.S. Brett, what's your version of Live, Laugh, Love? It must be embroidered. Wait, what do you mean? What's my version?
Like
of
if
Live, Laugh, Love?
you were to get a Live Laugh Love pillow, what would it say?
Die, scowl, hate.
If I had
That was dark, Mary.
If I had something like that, I don't actually know what I would have to. You can't put me on the spot for something like that. It
I
would have
mean,
to
you know,
be-
you have made yourself a YouTube personality. You got to get used to being put on the spot.
I don't know if I have.
Podcast, skate,
No,
love.
no, literally none of that. Look,
It would definitely have something to do with either Veronica Mars or the X-Files.
You brought it up today, not me. I didn't bring up Veronica Mars.
I was very proud of you.
Look, when that happened, it was because I was in the middle of watching it through for the first
I know.
time. Just like you with Harry Potter in your
Okay,
like,
I know, but my sample size, I have spent I've spent 8 days with you.
We've got more.
Cloud Roth for
Cloud Roth
$20.
said Merry Christmas.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas. Matt Kelly sent $100, $100 Canadian dollars, saying
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
It's Canadian, but we still love you. Thank
it's
you.
okay, Frostback. Heavy Burnman said, if y'all got sponsored by Taco Bell, what's the PCC Cravings box looking like?
The fact that they don't do the double-decker taco anymore really
It's got to
bums
have a
me
crunch
out.
wrap.
But that it's got
Obviously
a crunch
crunch
wrap.
wrap.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. What would you have in it?
Maybe a grilled cheese burrito. Actually, I would put one of their breakfast items in there. I like their breakfast crunch wrap.
I have never had Taco Bell breakfast food in my life.
People swear by it.
I'm proud to say that I have, and it's worth it.
All right, I'll have to try it.
Yeah.
I'll consider it.
I'm going to be spending this whole break thinking about what my live, laugh, love slogan.
You're a very anti-slogan
I don't like-
person.
I
You
don't-
should get one to go behind you on the wall.
I don't like slogans. I'm not a fan of
More of a Fastkin.
like
Your slogan is I don't like slogans.
Yeah, there it is. Like death to slogans. That's that. I would be good with death to slogans.
Right amount of words, wrong format.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like when you see the people who have the signs in their yard that say like, in this yard we believe that science is real and nobody can be illegal and I'm stupid.
In this house,
Yeah.
we believe Jason X is a comedy
Yeah.
movie. We believe.
Do you like skeet, skirt?
Ugh, none of that. It's
kinda gross, though.
Slogans. I'm not a fan of slogans.
And lastly, we got one from Yizzy144 saying Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
So I think we're all caught up now.
Okay, so back to these conspiracies. There was to conspiracies,
Not
to these
conspiracies.
too many of
We
these
covered
moments.
Ocean Gate. They brought up Brian Johnson. You mentioned a different Brian Johnson, but we're talking about
That's funny.
the one who thinks he can de-age himself to be 18
Yeah,
again.
that was big. This
He was a
year.
big deal.
For a guy who looks exactly his age, the rest of his family must look really old for their age because he's doing all this stuff to de-age himself, and he looks literally exactly his age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just looks like an in shape 40-year-old. From what I understand, like
Poor guy.
That actually is like a thing that happens. Not so much in America, but like the idea of like blood boys and stuff like that is real, but it's been heavily criticized by every medical institution in the world as
He's
being
getting, like,
useless.
Blood donations from his 18-year-old son.
They've basically been like, this is incredibly dangerous and has none of the benefits you think it does, or at least they haven't been proven, so you probably shouldn't do it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I saw on this list Sam Smith's inflatable latex costume, which I'm going to put up on screen there. Where's
Oh,
the
God.
dignity?
That was a moment.
I was explaining to Mary how I think that Sam Smith is maybe the saddest story of all of that's going on in Hollywood, because Sam Smith was actually a very, if you like pop music, Sam Smith was an extremely talented singer who didn't need a gimmick. He was just a musician who happened to be gay, who was very talented, and then just went this ridiculous
never
route.
did anyone care that Sam Smith was gay, and he
No.
realized that, and he was like, "Wait, people don't care that I'm gay? Okay, I'm non-binary." And everyone had to react to that and start calling him they, them, and then he started doing the whole Satanist LARP. It's just not giving what it's supposed to give, and
Imagine
it's
LARPing
sad
for
because he's
Satan.
so talented.
Yeah.
And I would say Demi Lovato would be like in a similar category.
Lil Nas X also got weird. Like,
Not as talented though.
I honestly, I think he's a pretty solid musician, like,
Interesting.
and writer. Like, I like his writing. I like the way he makes music. I don't think he needed to do something that weird and out of the box as like giving Satan a lap dance.
They also
No,
mentioned
yeah.
Ariana DeBoe's viral rap at BAFTAs. I forgot about that. It was so
Wait,
bad.
do you have the video?
I can look for it.
I have not
I want to
seen that
relive
one.
that.
It's so bad. Here, let's see if I can.
It was so awkward.
forgot about the ski
It was
trial.
like, who greenlit this, and why did they let her embarrass herself on TV? Oh, it was so bad to see people's reactions.
I also feel like Matthew Perry dying isn't really a pop culture event. That's just kind of a tragedy.
No, I mean, that's unfortunately those are inextricably linked
I guess.
in the industry. Here we go.
For ladies in the room, supporting and leading, all here I presume. Hong Chow, Dolly D, Carrie and Carrie with the C. Dame Emma, I'm so fond. Anna girl, you were great and blonde. Daniel D, you broke my heart. Michelle, I've loved you from the start. Angela Bassett did the thing. Viola Davis, Roman King. Kate, you're a genius. And Jamie Lee, you are all of us.
Like, I felt so bad for all the celebrities who just felt bad for her, who are just sitting there like this poor lady who's having her career destroyed right in front of us.
They had to do the live reactions too.
Breath control.
Yeah.
That is all I'm gonna say.
Just lip sync it, or don't do it at all.
Well, don't do it at all was the best possible option, but maybe take a single singing lesson first would have helped.
Yeah.
I know it's rapping, but like you learn how to breathe.
It's a nerve-wracking moment to destroy your career on TV. So
I honestly
understand. I understand why she was short of breath.
Don't do that.
Bad idea. Wow, I'm so.
This is the problem with our culture of tolerating everything and affirming everyone, is that somebody should have sat her down and sternly just said, listen, no.
I hope it was worth the money.
They mention, this other list mentions white men in the Roman Empire. I don't remember white men being part of it. I just remember it being men.
I remember it being men. Yeah.
So how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Me? Fairly frequently, at least once a day.
Yeah. I would say you're like the example, like
Yeah.
you're the stereotype.
Yeah.
Guy who
Another
thinks about
one
the
that's
Roman Empire.
mentioned-
I asked
I think the
several
only-
guys how often they think about the Roman Empire. They don't. So
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, every good
Brett
Catholic
said
should think about the Roman Empire once a day.
Yeah,
I don't think
but
about the Roman Empire.
Brett doesn't.
I don't.
That's fair.
Only at the time period when it was a big part of the discussion in the comparisons to the fall of America and its comparisons to the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I would love for people who talk about the fall of Rome mirroring the fall of America to go back and read the entire history of Rome, starting with like the kingdom breaking away from the Tarquinii, because Rome went through like 8 different civil wars before Caesar.
So that one, another one that gets brought up on here was Colleen Ballinger in the 10-minute
that was
ukulele
rough.
apology.
Yeah, the ukulele apology that will live in infamy.
That sounds like a Harry Potter movie. Colleen Ballinger in the 10-minute ukulele apology.
Yeah.
That would be good.
That was bad. Not like that was also funny because so few people understood the context of
I
what
had
she was
no idea what was going
apologizing
on.
for, who that lady was. Like a lot of people just don't pay attention to YouTubers, but I like knew all the lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only vaguely remembered that Miranda Sings existed. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the ironic thing, despite the fact that I am a full-time YouTuber now. Like, I did not watch YouTube from probably 2010 to 2020.
Then you would have missed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They mentioned Pope Francis in the sadly AI-generated puffy white jacket.
That was such a swag.
Which
photo.
is sad. No,
drip.
I'm sorry, but there was when we were talking about the Epstein client list, he was wearing like a puffy white jacket, and the first thing I thought of was Pope Francis in the puffy white jacket when I saw
He
it.
loaned it to
He loaned it
the
to
Pope.
the Pope, and that's how he got away with it for so long. Gwyneth Paltrow in the ski trial.
Obviously.
I forgot that was this year.
That was
had to
this
be on the
year?
list.
This is a long year, man.
Ozempic is on the list.
Yep.
Just Ozempic becoming a thing in pop culture.
Why is everyone so skinny all of a sudden?
What
mean-
was the tube girl?
Tube Girl?
That's not one that I knew. That was not one that I had seen.
I like how TikTok always asks me to drag a puzzle piece into place before I can watch a video that I clicked on.
I do like that they mentioned Kurt Cobain's daughter marrying Tony Hawk's son, which is basically
That happened? I didn't know that.
That was this year, and it's a 90s throwback. It's what you've always wanted.
Okay. And there's Lil Tay's death hoax and then
Yeah.
rap career launching. Haven't heard much from her.
Snoop
after
Dogg
that.
saying that he was quitting smoking and it was all just a ploy to sell a product.
Oh, I think that the stuff
It
about
was?
Yep.
aren't you guys bankrupt and this is why you guys are bankrupt is referencing Vice going bankrupt. So that was a self-referential joke.
So also Lana Del Rey and Lana Del Rey gun magazines for Mexican cartel members.
like printed images of Lana Del Rey onto their magazines.
Was it the magazine or was it the grip?
No, I think it was the magazine.
the
That was
magazine?
ranked number 1 here.
Yeah.
But it was Vice, so they might be reporting it wrong. Threads became a thing and nobody used it.
Not to this day, at least to the people that I accidentally click on. And
I had no idea about this, but there's a self-proclaimed sniffluencer who rates various toilets around the globe for doing lines in.
Listen, some people just need to be taken out to the woodshed, and he's one of them.
$1.99 on here says Zins becoming the new vapes.
I mean, they're not as bad for you as
I feel like you've already lined up the fact that it's a Zin. Like this is a cardinal Zin.
Yeah.
This is one of the 7 deadly Zins.
Way less risky than vaping.
You could just not use nicotine.
No. No,
Like, okay.
that's not going to happen.
Joe Biden's dog attacking people. Yes, Commander was his name?
I forgot about it.
That was this
he
year?
put down? Did he die?
I think
No,
they rehomed him.
I think they rehomed him. They got rid of him.
Where is he now?
Oh, also Nepo babies. Nepo babies was
That
a
was a
big
big thing.
discussion
The Nepo
that people were having.
discourse.
Okay, another unpopular opinion. I see absolutely nothing wrong with the idea of nepotism.
I don't either.
Like if you have raised your child under the circumstances that you have raised your child to be your successor and like trained them from childhood,
Yeah.
I see no problem with that.
to me,
like
what I
as a
would say-
parent, that's your job, is to get your child ahead in life.
What I see now is it's actually like, even though their success may be a little bit predetermined, I like the underdog story of it all, of somebody who has to like try to outshine somebody who is very, very good in their field. So I've really taken to watching John David Washington act because he's never going to beat Denzel.
Yeah.
He's not. But I love watching him get these roles and do his best. And I want to see people who come into the industry and try to. I mean, it's even better when they don't take their parents' last name. I do like Nicolas Cage. I do like that when they get away from that and they try to make their career on their own, right?
Yeah.
But I don't see the problem with it. But there's just a lot of envy in the
Yeah.
world, and people hate the fact that it actually probably takes a little bit of maybe, I don't know if it's a shortcut, but it's a lot of courage to want to try to make it in the same field as your parent. Especially if you don't take the same name as them. If you try to make it in the same field and supposedly use less of their influence, though you could say that influence is still being felt behind the scenes. They may still be able to help you get roles, but it doesn't mean you're going to be able to give the performances that they do. I'm never going to hate them for that.
Well, my main problem with it is lying about being a receiving nepotism.
Yes,
or
and now
like,
if they're like, oh, look,
it's
I
like
didn't
my
get
problem
any-
with plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I have a problem with plastic surgery, but also I have a problem more so with you lying about getting plastic surgery. Fans throwing random shit at celebrities on stage.
And
why is this a thing?
It's not just that. It's also celebrities throwing stuff back at them. Cardi B and 50 Cent both tagged people in the face with microphones.
Can't handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen.
Exactly.
Is what they said.
Yeah.
They mentioned Be Real. Do you remember that app?
Yeah.
Did you ever have a Be Real?
I think I got like in my previous relationship, I'm pretty sure I was hard launched on Be Real. Yeah.
Okay.
I also learned what the term hard launch meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I missed some stuff.
They mentioned
People think that they're way more important than they are
Yeah.
if they need to soft launch or hard launch a relationship they're
It's a
in on
little
social
weird.
media. Literally, no one cares who you're dating or when.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Also,
They're
You're
like-
not a celebrity. Like,
It's
no one
almost
cares.
as bad as when somebody, when two people buy a house and they say, "So we did a thing."
oh my god, I hate it.
So we did a thing.
I hate it.
Like, by the way, if you're marketing a product, if you're doing something that you're passionate about, if you have written a book, if you've made a movie, if you've done anything, do not make your first announcement about it. So I did a thing.
Oh, yeah, no.
Actually, take pride in what you made. It's so millennial and stupid. Just don't do it.
Millennial
It's
humor
awful.
and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
It is. It's a desire. It's first
BuzzFeed.
of all, it's fear. It's fear of putting themselves out there, and it's a desire to put off, people telling you that it's bad, right? So you have to downplay it.
Yeah.
You downplay it and pretend it's not as important to you as it was, which is one of two bad options. Either you're downplaying it and it's way more important to you and you're pretending it's not because you're scared of how it's going to be received, or you actually don't give a crap about it, so you say, "Oh, so we did a thing."
Yeah. I just really quickly, just because I saw them in the chat, and I think they deserve to be pointed out because you guys could use them for merch. Somebody said, "Hate the Zin, not the Zinner," and another person said, "Forgive me, Lord, for I have zinned." And I feel like you could make both of these into shirts.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I bet other people have, but
But you can actually sell them because you have a platform.
Yeah, we could jump in on that. The Chinese spy balloon, I don't really see that as a pop culture moment, but
The death.
That
of
was
the
more of a we are way behind the times moment.
yeah.
The death of the MCU is on here, and yes, it was a year where 2 out of 3 MCU movies lost money, and the one that did was the end. It was the last gasp of James Gunn directing at Marvel. So it really is the end of an era.
The cockroach at the Met Gala.
I don't remember
I
that.
don't remember.
There was a
that either.
cockroach on the red carpet at the Met Gala, and they started taking photos of it. It will be remembered forever. It's probably still alive.
It's been a crazy year. It's
Yeah.
been a crazy year. To me, it feels like it was broken down into like before and after. Like at first it was Barbie and Oppenheimer, and then it was Taylor Swift in the second half of the year.
Yeah, those are the main
Those were the big ones.
things that dominated our attention.
Yeah, and the year before that, it was the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, and all that came out
And
of that.
Slapgate.
And Slapgate.
Those are the
So,
two ones.
Yeah, it's been a
Slapgate.
and well, also we didn't even mention the frickin' strike, the actor strike.
Oh,
was
yeah.
a big deal. They were on the list
Yeah.
of when Taylor Swift got named Time Magazine Person of the Year. One of the people that was one of the ones suggested was the Strikers.
On the short list.
Yes.
It's so lame.
Super lame.
Like, I remember I had a conversation about that whole thing with my best friend, who's my co-host, my editor. Like, he and I were talking about it, and he was basically like talking about the strike. Talking about how it's a good thing. He went to film school, so of course he's been conditioned to agree with the Screenwriters Guild and the Actors Unions and all of that. And I was kind of pointing out to him, I was like, and how many of the people who go in and they sit there and they hear the whole speech, well, put your time in, and eventually you'll meet people, you'll be in the industry, you'll get to pitch a script to a guy like Steven Spielberg. How many of the people who start at the bottom ever actually do that? And he was like, and I was like, how many people whose dad has a big name? And I know I just said nepotism's like, I don't have a problem with it. I still don't. I'm just saying the guilds are
reality.
lying to you by telling you, oh, well, if you come in and you work for pennies and you live in a studio apartment in Los Angeles that costs you $4,000 a month, and you do that for 20 years, maybe you might get to talk to James Cameron in an elevator. Yeah. And they never do. You are so much better off as a screenwriter, in my opinion. Sure, go and work, do your thing, but on the side, start writing your own stuff, pitch it to indie companies, get out of there, and leave the union if you gotta, because they're not actually doing anything for you, and they never will.
When they ratified the final contract, only like 38% of the people in the union even came to vote.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
else
guarantee you that a lot of those people in the unions were sitting at home going, God, I just wish I was able to work right now. Like...
Yeah.
Like, I get that this was a
and it hurts the
particularly
little guy more.
Yeah, I
than
get
it
that this
hurts
was
those preaching about it.
a particularly like the AI thing. I get that, but like that's like the one time the union maybe had a point.
That was it. Yeah.
Like,
we should be getting residuals from streaming.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.